This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. It's time to give this another go. You may have seen a few weeks ago, possibly a few months ago by the time this video goes out, that I did a couple of videos with the old Line 6 pod, a piece of equipment that I really didn't take to back in the day, about 20 years ago or so. Didn't really get on with it, wasn't a fan of it at all. And that memory lingered until someone suggested that, well, why don't you try it again, see if it's as bad as you remember. And my first impressions on trying it again, well, it wasn't that bad, actually. And then I tried putting it in a mix and all of the kind of bad memories came back, really. It just wasn't cutting the mustard for me at all. A few people suggested that I try the pod with some modern impulse responses, which is what we're going to do today. There was a couple of people in the comments of that last video said that I was recording it too hot and everything, and that's the reason it sounded all fizzy and everything. I wasn't. It's it was just how it sounded. So we're going to try the pod with all of the cabinet emulation switched off. And, basically no cabinet selected there, and this little switch on the back here that switches the sort of between kind of direct recording and amp mode. All of that is switched off. These are basically the settings I'm going to be using. I'm on the Brit high gain model with the, as you can see there, with the cabinet simulation switched off. That's the settings. So we're going to run this, as I say, through some modern impulse responses. Now, I'm bound to get asked, what is an impulse response or an IR? It's basically an evolution of the technology that I guess began sometime in the 80s with the Tom Scholz Rockman, that little headphone amp thing that gave you the Boston sound in a little Walkman-sized package. That technology was basically simulating the effect that a guitar speaker cabinet has on your recorded or your amplified guitar tone. And it's evolved to the point now that where what they do is they get essentially a real world speaker, like a Marshall 4B12 or something like that, mic it all up and then fire, like as I understand it, fire a full spectrum of audio frequencies through it, and that then gets recorded as a WAV file. You can then import that WAV file into an impulse response loader, and it sort of reverse engineers it to say, well, this is what all of the frequencies sound like going through that speaker. Let's apply that EQ curve to the guitar tone. It basically gives you that the effect of playing through that speaker camp that has been profiled. So let's have a look at how the Humble Pod sounds through some 2020s impulse responses, cabinet simulations, call them what you will. This one surprised me. Right, so as you saw a moment ago, I've got the pod set to the Brit high gain setting with all of the cabinet emulation turned off. And what that's going to do is give us effectively this sound. And I've got the pod running into the interface, into that PC you can see over there. So I'm going to bring that screen of that PC up on here now. And you can see that I've basically got Native Instruments guitar rig loaded in. And I've got this control room impulse response thing going on here. We've got this vintage 4x12 version 1 preset loaded in. These faders and stuff here, these are basically just the microphones that are on that virtual cabinet there, so you've got ribbon 121, dynamic 57, condenser 47, etc across there, just the different mics that are on that cab, and you can play around with those faders, but like many people I just go with the presets. And if we turn this on, it's going to sound like this. which is a vast improvement. I think you'll agree. I'm really enjoying the sounds that I'm getting out of the pod whilst using, kind of say 21st century or 2023 or 2022 impulse responses, far better than the cabinet emulation that's built into the pod. The thing is, though, that maybe you don't have Guitar Rig, maybe you don't want to splash out on, kind of a fairly expensive bit of software just to get some impulse responses for your pod. You don't have to, because what you can also get are plenty of free impulse responses. You will need an impulse response loader like this one here from Lancaster Audio. It's a free download. You just basically sign up, give them your email address, and they send you a download link. And then you can load into that some free impulse responses, which I've done here. You can see I've got this this one that's highlighted, the Marshall JCM 800 lead series with an SM57 mic on it, and so on and so on. So let's once again remind ourselves of just how thin and fizzy the guitar sounds without an impulse response. And then if we put this one on, it's going to sound like this. Which again is a vast improvement. On its own, I think I prefer the sound of the one in Guitar Rig, but my instinct is that's probably got a bit too much bottom end on it to work particularly well in a mix. I suspect that this one will work better in in a kind of recorded mix environment. But I'm going to have a play about and see which ones work the best. So I think that is. I'll put a link to both the Lancaster Audio Impulse IR loader and the impulse responses that I've been playing around with here, especially that JCM 800 one. I'll put a link to those down in the description, and you can go and check them out for yourself. It's certainly, as I said, a vast improvement on the cabinet emulation that is in sort of built into the little red kidney bean pod thing that I'm using to generate the tones here. So that's proof of concept. I think I'm going to do something a bit more ambitious with this now. So yes, indeed, I am definitely going to do something a little bit more ambitious with this. I'm going to probably be on Sunday's video. I'm going to record a full track using some of the different amp models on there, clean sound as well as the crunchy distorted stuff I was doing there. I'll grab some more impulse responses, maybe a Fender Twin with Jensen speakers in it. That'd be a good one to use for a clean sound, and we'll see what it sounds like in a mix. I never ever thought I would say this, but I am beginning to warm a little bit to the humble Line 6 pod. Never ever thought I would say that, but it's I think we'll just prove the concept there. You can get some rather tasty sounds out of it, certainly if that Marshall-y kind of grunt that I was getting there is anything to go by. So I'll be interested to see how this works in a mix once again, but as I say, that's another video for another day, and that is very much the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen and found it useful and informative in some small way, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not drop me a like while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, tomorrow as well, every Friday in fact at 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and talk about music and guitar. What's not to like about that? Great way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.